Welcome back once again. President Donald Trump said that a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon would be extended by more 3 weeks after the fresh talks that took place between the two parts. And he announced the extension on Truth Social and also said the meeting went very well. The U.S. would be working with Lebanon to help protect itself from what he called Hezbollah as a possible danger against Lebanon, according to the American president. Very delighted to be having with us over the phone for more details Dr. Hassan Waguih, Professor of International Relations. Good morning, Dr. Waguih.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir? A good day to you.
I'm doing fine. Have a good day, too.
Thank you so much. So how significant are these talks in Washington that took place between the two parts and the attempts? How do you assess the attempts to de-escalate the confrontation between the occupation forces and Hezbollah and the Hezbollah party?
I think this truce is fine when it comes to trying to come to a peaceful solution to the conflict, this very deep-rooted conflict, which needs more than the 3 weeks. But of course, this is a good sign. Along with the sign, let me say something which I said last time, that we have to raise the slogan of President Trump, enough is enough, when he made this tweet, which is very important. Enough is enough for the entire world, for us, for the area. Enough is enough for war. I think that that is a very nice tweet I'd like to adopt, and I'd like to encourage all fair-minded people in the world to get it implemented, because the whole world is suffering now. And I think when it comes to the specific file between Lebanon and Israel, yes, this is very thorny and very difficult and very complicated file too, because there should be some kind of radical moves on the part of Israelis. Because if you are to disarm Hezbollah with the cooperation with America and Israel, this would create sedition. I hope that the Lebanese authorities and the Lebanese president would be given that chance to feel that he is a sovereign, that no one else is trying to disarm with him. Because they could, you know, if the Israelis did not withdraw from the southern parts of Lebanon, this is a lifeline for Hezbollah to reshape itself and to consider itself as a resistant movement. And in Lebanon, there will be consensus on that. So hopefully things will get gradually done, but there should be something very urgent. Israel forces which occupied parts of Lebanon should withdraw, give the Lebanese president a sense of sovereignty.
Right. Political analysts see this ceasefire or diplomatic step. Some people see it as a breakthrough, and some people see it as a temporary pause in tensions. But the real question now is, whenever Israel is present in any agreement, there are questions about the sincerity of this agreement. There are questions about the intention, the seriousness of the intention, and many other questions that are raised. So how do you analyze this agreement? Is it going to be really a breakthrough and last? Is it going to be just one of those agreements, and then the next day there are going to be strikes? How exactly do you assess it this time?
Yes, of course. The dilemma of trust and cooperation as a negotiating concept is very, very deeply rooted in the relation between Lebanon and Israel, between Israel and the entire world. When you say that you are going to expand yourself in 5 Arab countries, what kind of trust you are trying to establish? You are trying here to retaliation rather than trust. So I think that the file is written with many elements of conflict, but let us say and let us hope that the Mr. Trump in America will deal with it in a very fair-minded way or win-win, because, you know, the kind of negotiation that is called surrender negotiation is not accepted, especially in the culture in this area. The culture of this area would prefer death rather than surrender negotiation. So I hope there is a place here. There should be some wise decision to be taken to give Lebanon the free space to claim real sovereignty, to give a chance for cooperation, not a sedition, not something that would create civil war inside Lebanon. I think this is one of the most important things that the Lebanese negotiators should be aware of. And also, I believe that no matter the Americans have already separated the file of Lebanon and Israel out of the Iranian situation, but it is so connected. It is so connected in reality. So I hope if there is something good happens in the file of Iran when it comes to peaceful solution, I think this would ease the tension a lot in Lebanon.
So Lebanon is insisting on a ceasefire as a precondition for talks, and from Israel's perspective, I mean, there are risks of entering negotiations under a ceasefire. How do you read that?
Yes, as I have mentioned, you know, the cross-cultural communication challenge is missing in many negotiations, and I said, in particular, this kind of negotiation under bombing, under threats, to make it surrender negotiation is not acceptable. I mean, here and in other places which has deep history. Remember Vietnam, what happened? Also, they resisted to the very last minute because their culture would never allow this. I hope that we can read the negotiators who are in charge of getting to a settlement, a real settlement, would go to Carter books, who introduced a very important book about the missing cultural elements in dealing with negotiation, especially by the Americans. Hopefully, they will come up with something that would ease the situation by understanding the culture that will never allow surrender negotiation, and it will pop up again and again, and no real solution. Hopefully, win-win is the only way out.
Right, but if both parts agree to this particular principle of a win-win situation, because Israel is not that type of country that would agree to that particular principle. But then talking about the mechanisms, what mechanisms do you think are in place to monitor and enforce the ceasefire, and probably in particular enforce?
Actually, yes, the gradual steps, the rationality of the situation, the withdrawal of Israelis from the places occupied in Lebanon, or part of it as a gesture, as a right gesture in the right direction, to be completed and to be out of Lebanon. I think these are the elements. Also, I would like to listen to the General Secretary of the Arab League. We have a new eminent diplomat. I hope that we can listen from him regarding this. This is an Arab case, and Lebanon needs some support from an Arab entity like the Arab League and the Arab countries. Egypt is extending the hand for everyone, but again, we need collective Arab will that would help the Lebanese to bolster their situation.
From Israel's side, you might have an assessment. What exactly would require for Israel to be able to keep up its hands off southern Lebanon, southern Bekaa Valley, from its own assessment? Is it a total elimination, for example, I'm just presuming, of Hezbollah? It's a specific detailed agreement that would enforce Hezbollah to abide by it from the Israeli perspective, or what exactly?
Actually, when it comes to the total elimination, this will never work out humanistic-wise rational-wise, end result-wise. So I hope that, yes, convincing and persuading others to adapt to the situation, despite the fact that the positions are so, there is a very big gap now, but this gap could be bridged, could be crossed over, and I think that step by step, gradual steps, mutual gradual steps are very important with no violence for everyone. Hopefully this will work out.
And the role that the U.S. could play in that particular truce or agreement?
I think the role being played now as a mediator should be continued, and I think that let us go back to the tweet made by President Trump, which I really like. Enough is enough, and America prohibited Israel from further bombing of Lebanon. I think this statement was very good, and it makes a good corner for the entire process should be adopted to the very end for the entire file in this area.
What, from your own perception, after assessing the whole situation, and you are monitoring it from distance ever since it started, what would be the key security concerns for both Lebanon and Israel going into these talks?
Actually, this is a step that I think if it was taken with rationality, with a win-win mentality, with radical change of position, especially for the Israelis who really occupying the west, the southern part of Lebanon, I mean, I think if there are some palpable steps in that direction of withdrawing the Israelis from the southern area occupied, I think this will ease the tension and will give the gesture that there is a change in behavior, change in the way negotiation should take place.
Are we likely to see confidence-building measures such as, for example, troop withdrawals or buffer zones?
Hopefully, yes. And hopefully this would happen. And let us be optimistic all the time, because pessimism will never get us to any destination but to nowhere.
If good news pops up, so could the internal politics in Lebanon and Israel, for example, specifically affect the major scene that is between the U.S. and Iran, or possibly no?
I think there should be parallel in addressing the two files. The idea of separating the files is, of course, is an American-Israeli idea, along with the will of the Lebanese to have peace in their state of court. But again, if this will not be solved in connection with the Iranian file, I think the explosive elements will continue to be there.
And the other way around goes, of course, it's going to impact also. Definitely. I mean,
Yes.
so the recent escalation ongoing between Israel, excuse me, and Lebanon, how is it affecting the people inside? I mean, the civilians on both sides of the borders, the strikes and the military escalation each day. How do you describe it over the civilians inside on the borders?
I think that the violations that is being conducted here and there, and especially, you know, the uncalculated and disproportionate use of power by the Israelis created more than 2,000 martyrs in Lebanon, civilian martyrs, and also demolished a lot of housing, demolished the buildings and settled places that really helped the Lebanese to cope up with the difficulties of life. I think that this is unbelievable. What happened? 1 million Lebanese citizens displaced, and this has made a lot of burden on the Lebanese government, of course. But it shows that the Lebanese are very cooperative with each other. They are trying to cement their relation with each other and they are dignified and proud. And I hope that they will find a peaceful solution based on justice in the final analysis.
Let us also mind that this sustained truce or ceasefire probably, hopefully, would open the door for humanitarian aid or reconstruction efforts in a full scale. Will it do that? Do we expect it to do that?
Yes, the Lebanese negotiators insist in these talks for such a thing, for withdrawal, for reconstruction. I think this is the most important steps to be taken. And also Lebanon announced the Iranian ambassador a persona non grata. This is why let us have an eye on this, because they don't want any intervention in their affairs anymore. If they don't want any intervention in their country, of course this would be applied also to Israel and to any foreign power. Help and mediation should be there only to pave the way for the Lebanese free will and sovereignty to be operationalized.
Right. On that note, would like to thank you so much, Dr. Hassan Waguih, Professor of International Relations. Thank you so much, and it was a great pleasure having you on the Breakfast Show. And by this, we come to the end of this edition of the show. Many thanks to all of you. Until you see you again tomorrow morning with a new crew, that's a goodbye. Have a good day.